What's good, everybody? MidMorningSol back at it again with another video, part 2 Cafe Enchante, folks. And happy Easter. Hope you had a wonderful Easter. If you are observing the holiday, if not, hope you're having a wonderful day while you're watching this. Really appreciate you. So let's get on into the load area. And y'all, woo boy, for chapter 2, we got to see Misyr's true form. And we knew about the lie Misyr was perpetuating, which we actually got to meet the real Demon King, Asmodeus. Or is it Asmodeus, because the name of the place is Asmodia. So y'all, something weird and fucked up happened with Misyr when he became his true self. That guy that looked like him, which we don't know the name of, he's like, now you can show her your true self, ha 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 ha. And yeah, all sorts of fucked up shit, y'all. But yeah, Misyr looking kind of scary with his true form. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. So let's just jump on into chapter 3, shall we? The real world road rules. I don't think people are gonna catch that reference. All right, y'all, let's get on into it, shall we? We shall. Let's get it. Yikes. Strangely shaped arms, strangely shaped legs, a strangely shaped body. I slowly set foot into the fissure that formed in space, as though torn open. Just like traveling through the gate, moving between worlds feels like floating. I lower my foot with a tinge of unease, not knowing if there would really be ground below. Then the sensation of dry ash. Uh-oh. Beyond the fissure in space that opened for some reason during my rampage, stretching far and wide is scenery that I'm so used to seeing I'm tired of it. I look at my ominous palms and mutter in self-deprecation. Deprecation. I can read, y'all, I promise. What ugly form. I guess. I mean, it depends. Despite being used to it, I think this every time I see myself. No matter how accustomed she is to the existence of non-humans, she'll never get over my ugly true form. This strangely shaped form. And seeing the power of ruination I spread, of course she would think nothing of it. Exposed to the rough air, I slowly begin to walk. In the air, in the demon world I came from, is like a gloomy and stagnant swamp. The air in this world is like an arid desert that exists to torment people. Yeah, it's kind of how I would imagine hell to be, but not an arid desert, but it's just a place that exists to torment people once they passed on and have been bad. It's as though even this sad feeling I have will dry up and scatter away. I'm sorry, I have to laugh at the filter they put Misyr's voice actor through, because, like, you know, I was laughing before with like how casual Misyr sound with this voice filter on. It's really funny. He's He's like, oh, I'm home. So we tried this stuff on it at Enchante, and you know, just imagine it with the demonic filter sound. It's really silly. He's still calling himself a demon king, though. We don't know who is the actual true king, but things just got even more complicated. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Sorry, y'all. There we go. Spreading before my eyes are nothing but countless little hills where ash has piled up a bit more. In this world, over the span of tens of thousands of years, the countless people I cared for, the countless graveyards of sediment, thousands upon thousands, far too many to count, these depressing grave markers of ash. Oh, he says I'm back, everyone. It sounded stupid before, but oh my gosh, with all these like pillars of ash, well not pillars, but mounds of ash where people once were, or beings once were. Yikes. That's right. In the end, this is the only place I belong. No matter what masks I wear, no matter what falsehoods I use to deceive, lies are always found out eventually. Wow. After the incident where I was carried off to the demon world by the demon king called Asmodeus, having taken refuge in the wormhole just before the demon world was reduced to waste, Canis and everyone came back to find me. Me and a captured Asmodeus were brought back to the human world. There to greet us in our confusion were Rendo and his GPM subordinates. At the time, my head was too full. I don't even remember how I explained it all to Rendo, Canis, and everyone else. Yep, sorry. For the time being, after handing over Asmodeus and arresting him under kidnapping charges, we all stayed at an inn for the night. The next morning, at GPM headquarters,
結論から言わせてもらうよ。やっぱり魔界アスモディアと魔王ミシェルに接点は存在しない。
The words Rendo bluntly said rang especially loud in the morning silence.
その話、間違いねえんだな。残念ながら裏付けも取れているよ。
拘束したアスモデウスと生き残っていたらしい部下の魔族を昨べのうちに尋問したんだけど、
何度も言わせるな人間ども。
I thought his arm was blown off. What the fuck? I guess he regrew it.
アスモディアに君臨する魔王はこの魔王アスモデウスただ一人。ミシェル聞いたこともない。というか まずはこの拘束を外せ。俺様は花嫁に会いに行くのだ。
God damn it! There's somebody like blasting loud fucking rap music, and I'm like, I hope it doesn't pick up, y'all. But who knows? It's really annoying. I mean, in context, if he were a decent guy, sure, I'd lovingly run into your arms. But because, yeah, Misyr called you out on this, and he practically shut you up. It's like, I gotta keep you at arm's length, my dude. I can't simp for you.
とまあそんな感じでさ。
According to Rindo, Asmodeus had great luck in escaping the worst trouble. To prepare the ceremony with me, he had gathered all the demons in the planned venue out in the countryside. That ashen power of Misyr seems to have stopped after destroying only half of the demon world. Well, damn. The place the demons had gathered happened to be in the remaining half. Thus, his subordinates and other demons avoided succumbing to that destructive power. They all managed to survive. By the way, the arm and leg that Asmodeus himself lost were reformed with magic power. Oh, thank you for actually addressing that. Really appreciate it. There were no deaths in that incident. In that sense, I think from my heart that it's a relief. But in the end...
偽の魔王はミシェルの方だ。彼、アスモデウスこそが本物だったってわけだね。
それどころか、ミシェルは魔族ですらない可能性。いえ、正体が知れぬ存在に。
Interesting. He may not be a demon, that Misyr, but he's probably a being of unknown origin. Interesting. I mean, I know you're not gonna be angry about that, Otome. It doesn't matter. You love him for him. Misyr himself even admitted that Asmodeus is the real Demon King. Yes, he did. He did. Asmodeus, the real Demon King who rules the demon world. An high-tension man who fell for the heroine at first sight and tried to make her his bride. That's why I can't even object to what Il said when reconfirming the facts. But first then exactly what world is Misyr from? I want to know that.
なの本人の口から聞くしかねえだろ。それが一番手っ取り早い。
There, Ignis cuts off in an awkward way. I'm about to ask what's wrong, but I understand the meaning of that silence. Woo, excuse me. Yawning? Ah, I see. Who knows if we can even see Misyr?
ミシェルが今後店に来るなら、その時に聞けばいい。だが、彼が本当の姿や力のことをあなたに知られたことを気にして、アンシャンテに二度と来なくなったとしたら。
Oh no! Fuck!
ここに彼と同じ世界の出身者がいない以上、彼のいる場所にゲートはつなげない。 そうなれば当然ミシェル・アレックスという彼に近づくための術は一切なくなってしまうだろうね。
I never even imagined that possibility, since he had been coming to Enchante every day until now. If the demon world and his position he spoke of was all a ruse, we've never had a single connection to him or his world. Right from the beginning. Mikado meekly raises a hand. What is it?
ミシェル君が異形になった時刻に魔界だけではなく人間界全体にも同時に激しい地震が発生したんだよ。
The entire human world? Really? Could that be like when the fissure opened up in front of Enchante? Like the shaking of the world itself?
幸い魔界みたいな大災害は起きなかったけど、あれからどうにもホールの発生頻度も増えていてね。タイミング的にも無関係とは思えないから、しばらくは不測の事態にも備えないと。
I'm sorry for saying it in a way suspecting Misyr. Subduing his usual eccentricity, Mikado apologizes to me and I couldn't complain. We all quietly leave the GPM. Getting into a car procured for us by Rendo, I absentmindedly stare out at the city road. It still has no sense of reality. Almost everything he said was painted over with falsehoods. His liking coffee. His being the strongest demon king from Demon World who likes teasing people. The form of that person who I looked at and talked with like normal until now. Misyr Rex 3. His self-proclaimed status as a demon king, or even being a demon, was all a lie. His true identity is that he is a man of much mystery who took on an abnormal form and wields the power to turn his surroundings into ash. Oh my gosh. It seems far away and uncertain. It now seems far away and uncertain. After getting home, maybe Misyr will have come back with that usual nonchalant look on his face. Whew, excuse me. Such positive thinking Such positive thinking by us was all in vain. As expected, no sight of Misyr at the shop. Oh no. After returning to Enchante, I didn't feel like doing anything at all. And when the evening came, I went right to sleep. Then, the next morning, what woke me up was what seemed like a small shaking on my shoulder. Oh shit. Another earthquake. Oh, come here, my little coconut jelly bean. Oh, let's be careful. Let's hide under a table or some shit. Fun fact, y'all, I've never been through an earthquake. Never. And, you know, God forbid that I do. Kororo also woke up in surprise, snuggling up against me and trembling. I hold Kororo, protecting it, and wait for the shaking to settle. Girl, I don't know, but shouldn't you be under a stable thing like a table or something? A few minutes later, the shaking stopped. The scale was small, but it's after that incident happened. Sorry. According to Mikado, the earthquakes and wormholes occurring in various places aren't related. I can't help but put myself on guard. Wormholes, huh? The shape is strange. So fissures in space, we were calling them something like that, but the fissure that opened in the demon world was also just another kind of wormhole. So beyond them, there should be another world. I wonder what world Misyr returned to through here. It's been one night since then, but I wonder if he'll come to the shop today. I'm also curious if anything broke during that earthquake just now. To be ready to make coffee whenever Misyr comes back. Yeah, I'll run the shop like normal today. To make preparations, I change my clothes and head downstairs. Huh? They're alone. Sitting in the chair closest to the room with the gate, I find Il. Il, what's wrong? When I call to him, Il slowly raises his head.
ここでミシェルの来店を待っていました。彼が来たら真っ先にあなたへ知らせようと思いまして。
He speaks softly to me, and in front of him is a game console with an Otome game set inside. But he isn't playing it. He just sits there with it on the table. How long could he have been waiting here for Misyr to come? It's still early in the morning. I think Misyr usually comes a while later. So, how about I bring something to drink out, and we could drink together while waiting? Aww. Il nods in silence and still seems somewhat sad. Afterwards, I had an espresso. Il drank a coffee float. While the two of us quietly... What? Why is the period there? While the two of us quietly waiting to hear the sound of the gate. However, even long after the time he usually comes to visit, there was no cheerful doorbell sound announcing the Demon King's visit. The more time passes, the gloomier me and Il's expressions become. Il, that Otome game, you're not going to play? I ask a question to change the mood, but Il shakes his head.
これはプレイするためではなく、ミシェルに見せるために持ってきたのです。
Misyr?
ちょうど今朝、記憶、夢に見て思い出しまして。この乙女ゲームは初めて出会った頃にミシェルが私に買ってくれた作品のリメイクなのです。当時のことははっきり覚えていませんが、彼が来たらこれを見せて何か思い出話でもできないかと。
I see. Il, you must get along especially well with Misyr. I often see you two together.
初めて会った時からなんだか放っておけないと何かと気を使ってもらいました。
Oh, it's so fucking weird, but I actually love the dynamic these two. I've mentioned this before too, but I just love the little brother, big brother dynamic those two have. And yeah. Oh, I hope he comes back. I kind of get it. Misyr he feels kind of like your older brother. He's usually carefree about everything, but he seems to like to care for people or talk to them with no discrimination.
本当に分け隔てなくでしょうか?
Huh? When Il spills these words, my hand freezes as I was about to drink my espresso.
いえ、悪い意味ではなく、私自身も適切な表現を探すことができないのですが、ミシェルがあなただけに送る微笑みは、私が有する知識と記録の中で最も優しく美しいものだと、そう認識しています。私はアンシャンテでそんな二人の姿を見ているのが何より好きなのです。
Is that so? With what kind of feeling? I don't know what Il means by this special kind of smile. But if I had to guess, it must be because I'm the owner of this place. And also,
もう二度とないかもと思っていたのに、本当にこんな日が来てくれるなんて。
when I was little, maybe he's being nice because we've met before? The moment I say this, Il raises his head with a questioning look.
幼少期にあなたと開口したことがある。ミシェルがですか?
I'm sorry, I'm humming the song. It's a really catchy song. Even though it's sad. Huh? Yeah.
最も小さかった君は覚えてないかもしれないけどね。
Wait, did I meet you at some point in the past, Misyr?
ほんの短い時間だったからね。覚えてないのも無理はないよ。
I think Misyr said something like that.
それは明らかに矛盾していますね。
An inconsistency. Il nods and starts explaining while looking towards the gate with a troubled expression. According to Il, the order that the regular customers of Enchante first came to the shop is: first, the longest serving member, Canis, followed by Il, then Misyr. After a long gap of time, shortly before the collision with the GPM, it seems Ignis came to the shop.
ですが、私は今朝夢に見るまでミシェルと自分の初来店順を 誤って逆だと認識していたのです。
Wait a minute. What? So if Canis came first, then Ill, then Misyr? The fuck? So this was in other routes, but he could have lied about it, or the story was just going with the flow, you know. Interesting. Ill also mentions it's likely the same as Canis, who isn't present right now. Wait, the reverse? In other words, yeah, Ill was first, then Misyr. Wait a minute. Ill, in Ill's route, I think he was in a room or some shit, and then Soan brought Misyr to Ill. Whatever. Because Ill was stoved up in a room. Misyr first came to the shop after Ill. That's the correct order. Ill first came to the shop after Misyr. That's what he believed? How could you have that misunderstanding? That's because, saying this, Ill continues his story with mixed feelings. Yeah, according to what he remembered this morning, in reality, for a while after first coming to this shop, he had been unwell under the effect of the air in this world. He wasn't used to it. Grandpa was looking after him, and he was asleep in an empty room. Then, Misyr made his first visit around that time. After Ill's condition improved, they were introduced, it seems. Canis was absent at the time, and he had forgotten most of his memories during his time asleep. Seeing how accustomed Misyr was to being at Enchante by then, he was mistaken as the senior who came to the shop first. In other words, the reversed order. Until now, he and those around had believed that. He himself, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. So that's how it happened. But why do you sense that as an inconsistency?
私が来店したとほぼ同時に孫娘、あなたはアンシャンテを去ったとソーアンから聞いていました。ではその後に初来店したはずのミシェルはなぜあなたと会ったことがあるとそう告げたのでしょう。
Okay, so there was never a memory between little Otome and Ill. So there's hold on, this is fucking confusing now. Misyr said we've never seen the flashback to Misyr and little Otome. But we have seen the flashback to little Otome and Canis. And then Ill never had a flashback with her, so I don't know if this was when she was stoved up in the... or when Ill was stoved up in the room. But is that where you're going with this? So was he lying? That's the lie? Huh? When he puts it that way, there does seem to be a huge disconnect. After that, I didn't visit Grandpa's shop even once. You little ungrateful hussy. What could this mean?
確信も根拠もありませんが、 もしやあなたとミシェルの間には私たちの知らないまた別の接点があったのかもしれませんね。
Wow, interesting. We won't know what that we won't know that unless Misyr comes back. Ill's words ended up being in vain. Even past closing time, Misyr didn't come to the shop. Damn.